No way!
That is my favorite result ever.
Mussy, we do this.
Must you keep reusing that joke. Today, we are going to test some open systems for climbing.
That way, when you get to the top of your climb and you want to take your gear off, you don't have to untie to thread your rope through and retie in. It's not rocket science, but this is way more convenient.
Pop the rope in here or in there and get lowered down.
Or in here. These are permanent quick draws that would be left at the top.
The idea is it's much safer and simpler.
Boy, the comments are going to be all about if you don't know how to untie and retie in, you shouldn't be climbing. But there are people who just show up and want to go climbing, and they're not all nerdy about it. And it's not a problem, especially if it's a popular route, to make it a little safer. But you can leave the comment anyways. What's really cool is the ram's horn is weird, right? Because it doesn't close. When it's backed up against the thing, it's not like your rope's going to pop out.
This is easy to inspect and replace.
The idea is we shouldn't have to replace the bolts because that's a pain in the ass. But it's pretty easy to change out a quick link, which is what that's connected to, or use... How does this go on?
So it's kind of like a puzzle.
Ah, yeah. This is nice because it's stainless, and they also, I think Martin makes these in titanium. They don't make titanium Mussy Hooks, but they do make these. Is this the only titanium solution for open systems? We just spent the last 2 hours changing this slack set machine to break something else, but we thought we'd do the Mussy video because I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty strong.
This is from a very popular route at Smith Rock, 5-gallon buckets, which on Mountain Project has thousands of ticks, and that's only a percentage of how many times it's actually been climbed.
Put in the comments if you've climbed it.
So somebody didn't think this was safe anymore, took it off, and sent it to us.
It's still got 50% of the metal there.
Yeah, it's got a lot of metal left, and I think this down here is thicker than this. We'll see which breaks first.
I do have a feeling somewhere in here in the eye is going to break. But, you know, these are a lot weaker when the gates open. That's a joke. There's no notch. Anyways, let's break this stuff. We forgot to put the catcher on, and it knocked all our bolts off the wall. It just unbent before this eye would break. 2 steel weights crashed into this wall.
Carnage everywhere down here.
Yeah, this is the only rod we could find, and that was to go all the way through our shackles so we could get this piston right here and not have anything else in the system besides the shackle. Are those bolts compromised now, Bobby?
Probably you should just donate them to me.
Pretty good collector item. Let's make another one. Oh, a different result? No! No! I saw plywood fly everywhere. Did it just pound this into my slack set machine? No way! I am never gonna stop being amazed by this machine.
That is my favorite result ever.
That is an ostrich mussy.
Yeah.
Very consistent 70-ish kilonewtons. Yeah, that's what the metal bends at. I just would like to note that this is what's holding all of this. Isn't that crazy? Like, this was all the way up here. It unbends like Play-Doh. Make sure you guys don't top rope above 72 kilonewtons. So this mussy is half worn through or more. And the concern isn't just how strong it is, but the sharpness of the metal. And it's not sharp. It's really good like this.
Perfect.
Wow, that's great. So rope in a U shape like this is been breaking in the 27 kilonewton range.
That's a static rope.
This is static rope. Because if you pull it like this, it breaks always in the knot here around 18, and you don't quite get double when you go U shape. Now, dynamic rope will break 14 in the knot, but will get in the 20s up here. Super strong enough for any top rope you're doing. But you would want your hardware to break higher than your rope. So pretty sure this will do that. It did break in that notch. I guess that's not that shocking.
It's really not.
Keeps breaking at the gate.
20, 25 kilonewtons, depending on the standard, is what you're looking for in a top anchor. And this is like double that, maybe triple. Than the last one.
By 450 pounds. Same result. Did you know if you do it 3 times, it's statistically boring? This is really consistent.
Yeah.
That's 4,000 pounds weaker.
Only 10,000 pounds.
Danger, danger.
We are going to do some pig's tails or ram's horns.
I've been wanting to see this. So after much debate, we settled on a green span set that goes to a soft shackle, connecting it to a yellow one, connecting it to our big piston.
We didn't use a rope here, though we think this is probably going to unbend underneath the force is going to break the rope because we have a very short throw right now.
Yeah, we have 12 inches left on our piston. We can't use rope on a piston required to be strong enough to... We'll just show it. Show, don't tell. Okay. £5,000 pounds. £5,000 pounds. And so around 4,300 is when I actually started to see it bend. So it's great until it's not. How strong is your rope?
Yeah. I mean, it might do that, but you're not going to be able to do that.
So it's just 10 millimeter stock rod, like
stainless steel.
And then they bend it into that shape, and then we unbend it and go, wow! 1,700 pounds. Ooh, 3,300 pounds, and it's still holding at 33. I like that. 4,250, and it's unraveling. Stopped at 49 and just kept going at 49.
Thoughts? It's still holding the rope at like 20 kilonewtons, and it's that continued pressure at 20 kilonewtons that's finally leads to rope release.
Careful on those cruxes. Oh, wow. It is a steel beaner, so it stretches instead of just snaps. Okay, so it is most of the carabiner. It just...
And that's all of it.
Yeah. Should be an archaeologist. This would probably look like, but with feathers. Yeah, the threads for the captive eye are right there. Is that where it broke?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that has a hole.
You can see.
Yeah. I mean, there is a hole through the carabiner.
This is how you will see Mussies often. The thought is if you turn it around, it'll be a little harder to get the rope out. But it's also a lot harder to clip, and it doesn't sit very well like against the rock. So most people set them up like this. Somebody brought this concern to me. If you climb above this and then fall over, no, I'll hold it. Climb up and over and then fall past, it will stay in.
It's too wiggly.
It's too wiggly.
If it's against the rock.
Yeah, well, let's hold it here. So you're climbing up and you fall. It can come out of the system.
Believe us.
Believe us. I've never seen that happen, and it's
rare. You have to climb above it. You have to fall.
Yeah.
On the other side of it.
And you have to fall on the other side of it.
And the rope has to land in it.
That scenario is something you're concerned about if we've created some gear fear in you. There's a simple trick to make it easier. If you clip a carabiner here, and you can use a locking carabiner just to this link here, this makes it so if you are in that scenario, let's grab close here, and that happens,
It can happen, man.
You're still into this carabiner, and of course you can use a locking carabiner.
And spine side is on that side. Otherwise, you can
yeah,
risk negating that.
We're opposite and opposed here.
The other nice thing, if you do top rope something a lot for the day, throw your own carabiner on that link. So the majority of the force, or the link higher. So the majority of the force is on your carabiner, and you're actually not wearing through the mussies. Now, they got a lot of metal. It takes a long time to wear them out. But wear out your own gear instead of like the community gear that somebody's going to have to pay and replace all of them in an area.
On that topic, if you live in the U.S., the American Safe Climbing Association buys up most of the stock of these particular mussies and will give them to local stewards to replace worn anchors.
Mussy hooks are basically just tow hooks where they take off that flappy flat gate and
it's terrible.
Yeah, with sharp, and they replace it with a climbing carabiner type gate.
Wire gate, where the spring is the gate.
Sometimes don't the gates wear out on these things and they're like missing?
On this type, I've never seen it, but on the other type, here's a prime example of the gate fell off.
It is still nice to wear out your own gear. Let's talk about the ram's horn. This looks more bomber when it's against something than just floating. Super
simple to thread these. You just go behind one side and then go behind the other side, and it sits in this basket.
Unweighted, you just lift it away from the rock. But once it's weighted, the rope can't jump out.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some weird situation that
earthquake.
Yeah, like super high wind and an earthquake.
And that's where these come in.
So a system that I've been using is having the pigtail or ram's horn on top, and then I'll install a lower bolt with a carabiner like that as a backup. This is seeing all the wear, and this 30 kilonewton carabiner is there just in case, say, this 50 kilonewton bolt falls out.
Yeah, I guess you're backing the bolt up at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a psychological anchor, but I like it. I like redundancy.
Yeah, if you do have super bomber things, it's also nice to just have something that makes people feel good and their experience to be nice, even if we know like things are super good enough. Especially, you're developing this for other people, not just for you to climb. You could do ram horns this. What does that look like? See, bolts can just come out. Super easy if you forget to glue them.
Yeah, if you did that, my guess is it would twist your rope a little bit. One of the things I love about these is I don't need a quick link for them. I can put them directly on the bolt or directly on a hanger. And then once they wear out, I've been using these for 5 years on some routes that have seen maybe 100 ascents, and I'm not seeing any wear on them yet. So, I mean, they last a long time. But if they wear out, you can just, this one's a little bit looser. Just slide them off the bolt and slide a new one.
The problem with easy to install hardware is it's easy to uninstall. And it sucks to have this conversation, but there are assholes who steal shit. And which really sucks when people put in a ton of work into developing something for other people, that someone would undo that. What's nice about a quick link and a Mussy is you have to intentionally take a wrench and intentionally be an asshole instead of being just an opportunivore and being like, oh, that's shiny, I'll just take that.
You could secure them with like a pipe clamp.
So what's interesting about the fix steel carabiners here is the captive eye pin is kind of angled too shallow, and so you really can't get anything in there without undoing it or taking it out. If it was angled a little bit steeper, you'd actually be able to get a lot of stuff in there. This thing will not get in there. What fits?
A smaller quick link, but I wouldn't really want to use this.
You don't want to use
much smaller than that.
Yeah, this is the same stock of metal, but you can take out the captive eye. I don't know if that matters.
People can take it if you take that piece out.
Can you put it back in after you take it out?
Yeah.
So you can take it out, put your hardware on.
Yeah, or you could bend these to get the one out for the test. I just put a punch down there and pound it in until it popped the wire out.
Because anything we try to put in there to be strong enough to break at 10,000 pounds is needed that to be missing. This is why you in practice doing everything before going out and installing your first stuff, because if you get up there and you find out you can't get a quick link on there, you're not going to be successful. Now that we're done talking about open systems, let's talk about closed systems. This chain is not welded together, but it is it's a closed system. You can't just slide your rope through this thing. These are lap links, and we're going to find out when or if they unravel before they break. It's unraveling already. Okay. Oh, it's unraveling already. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow, it did unravel. My rope's stronger than that. Rolled aluminum rappel rings are stronger than this.
This is going to wear better than a rolled aluminum rappel ring, but still, like, use something better. Like, this is not strong. This is not designed for this.
This is cheap hardware when people are trying to save money when they're developing routes. And don't develop routes if you can't afford it, or find places or people to help you fund that. You're not made of money.
No.
But you use nice hardware.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want to contribute something to the community that they don't have to fix in 10 years.
2,000 pounds. Ready? Oh, that one was stronger. Your rope is still stronger than this. I mean, the chain doesn't even look stressed.
I don't know. I just don't like them. And they're like mild steel, and they rust all over the place.
Wow. It's a longer chain now. Or shorter, because you can't straighten any of them. The weakest link broke. Get it? We just rebuilt the slack set machine, and this is my new lab. And it's barely done enough for me to show you in a video for the first time. We ended up putting this Mussy Hook right here on the pin that holds these pulleys, which allows me to have the hydraulics underneath the machine. And then this dynamo comes over the top, and that allows us to pull the samples. And on the other side here, the pin that holds the load cell and hydraulic, which are all built into the back of the frame in this honeycomb design, is also welded onto the pin. And Steve Gluttfelty, who welded up this machine, also welded us up some figurines. If you want to tell us what animal this is in the comments, that'd be super helpful. But the ears are the Mussy Hooks. This is the Mussy that went through the table, and this is the other one that was horned. And we're going to hang those right here on the wall of carnage. And 3 of these 5 panels on the wall that should help for sound has stuff that we've broken, and the other stuff is historical stuff. And we'll go through that kind of throughout some videos. And whenever we break stuff, we'll just keep adding to the collection. According to audience retention graphs, this is approximately where you click up. But wait, just hear me out real quick. 73% who watch the channel right now are not subscribed. Bigger channels get to do better things. I got to go to Black Diamond and test the ultralight cam, which you can see in that video right there, because I was a bigger channel. Imagine what I can do if I was a bigger channel, and who I can get over here. Did you know Bill Nye the Science Guy only lives about 20 minutes from me? So if you can click subscribe, that could literally change what you see on this channel. I was able to move here to this lab because I had 566 patrons, which I know it's a reliable thing I can count on when I post videos. They donate $1 to $2 per episode, and I post 2 times a week if I'm on fire, 1 time a week if I'm moving. Now, if you don't like it fluctuating between $8 and $16 a month, you could always cap it. But I do need 1,000 patrons in order to turn this into what I'm hoping for. I am going to be working on the lights and the sound and a couple more things that make this a little bit more convenient. I'm not done in here yet, but I want to have a cyclic loading machine and abrasion tester, and I have other ideas that I don't want to share yet. And you can also see our slow progress on the website. And after another year of what we're doing here is going to be just incredible the amount of information we've got out. 100% of what you give, either through PayPal or Patreon, ends up in here. It goes into the machines. It goes into, the pump went out on me. It goes into this. It goes into the website. But I want to make sure I show gratitude and make sure I say a big thank you to those who helped donate to get to this point. A lot of people have donated. A lot of people have given them their time too in order to make this happen. Steve spent so much time on that machine. And so I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate you guys supporting me. This is the coolest thing I could have ever imagined doing. And I just want it to be more than super sustainable enough, but I want it to expound into all the dreams that I have for it. I get inundated with questions, and I want to answer them all. And as we answer those questions, this video is about anchors. And we have the bolting Bible. We have that A to Z content to plug this information into there. So it actually becomes easier and easier for you to find the information. And as I'm able to back blog all my old episodes, which I've been moving, as soon as I'm getting that done over the next few months, then the filter is going to be amazing on the content page. and you can find exactly what you want. We have so much content out now, it's not really designed for you to go watch all the videos. We're trying to point to you to the next one that will help you, or use the website to point to you exactly the one that will help you the most. If you're watching a climbing anchor video, you might be interested in Bobby's video that he just put out on his new channel. Go subscribe to him. And he made something about the ram's horn and the carabiner system that he does. Now, if you thought a worn down Mussy hook was super good enough, we actually tested a rappel ring that wasn't. And you can go check out this video right here.